Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, as most of you know, Angela Kang became sort of the head showrunner of season 9 of The Walking Dead. She's basically the main writer, and Scott Gimple, technically he rose in power. Like he's like the head of both Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, but I think Angela Kang ended up having more creative control over the Walking Dead season 9. She's just kind of been entrusted to manage most of the season, and you can really tell that there's a big difference this season. Between season 7 and 8, and then when you get to season 9, there's just like a big difference in quality, a big difference in writing, a big difference in style. You can actually hear Daryl talk. There's no filler. I mean, am I the only one that's noticed that? Like, in the first 6 episodes of season 9, there has been almost really no filler. I mean, it almost seems like they don't even have enough time to tell the story that they want to tell. Season 5, 6, 7, 8, like there's so many filler episodes, bottle episodes of just one or two characters walking around the woods talking to each other. I could name 15 episodes right now where it's just an entire 42 minutes of two characters walking around talking to each other, getting deep character development or whatever. But it's to save money. It's to save money, and it was usually bad. It was just usually bad episodes, just boring filler bullshit. And The Walking Dead has had that problem for a while, and maybe it's not Scott Gimple's fault, but it always seemed like, especially in 7 and 8, that the budget was too low. I mean, in season 7 and 8, it just seemed like a lot of the good parts, a lot of the violent parts, a lot of the badass parts got cut out, or we didn't see them, or there's just hideous, absolutely hideous CGI. I mean, All Out War was supposed to be one of the best parts of The Walking Dead. It should have been one of the best parts of The Walking Dead. It's one of the best parts of the comics. It should have been super badass, and it just seemed really underwhelming and always filmed on a low budget. It just never seemed like there was a lot of money being spent on things. And the writing, oh my god, the writing in season 7 and 8, a lot of the writing was horrendous. There's like a 5 minute, 5 minutes straight of Ezekiel going up to Carol and being like, yes and no, no or yes, yes, no, contradiction. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And a lot of characters talk like that, like the trash people. Oh my god, the trash people. The writing for the trash people was awful. There's a lot of characters that just say, in season 7 and 8, there's just characters that said things that people don't say. That you don't talk like that. Normal human beings don't talk like that. If you watch like season 1 and 2 of The Walking Dead, the dialogue's not like that. The dialogue is good. The dialogue is realistic and normal, like how season 9 has been. And then you get to season 7 and 8, and all of a sudden these characters like Rick and Daryl are saying these weird things, and there's a lot of dialogue that's like word circling, like words just get repeated in a sentence over and over again, and it's supposed to be deep and meaningful. Like Carol saying to Morgan, you can go and not go and not go and go, and a lot of characters say lines like that over and over and over again. Like, I would get it if it was said a few times, but if you have every character talk like that and do that word circling crap, it loses its impact and it just gets repetitive and it's not deep anymore. It's just, you can't even take it seriously because everyone talks like that. Everyone does that word circling crap, and it just seems meaningless and not deep because everyone does it. And characters from season 1 that didn't talk like that are talking like that out of nowhere. And a lot of people blamed season 7 and 8's failures on Scott Gimple. Scott Gimple has really been criticized the last couple of years. I remember feeling like back in season 7, like I was one of his biggest haters. Like I did not like season 7 and a lot of the dialogue and things like the CGI deer and all the filler episodes. It just seemed like a really weak season, and I expected season 8 to be like the redemption, and it was just as bad. The same problems, the criticisms I had for season 7, they got worse. They got bigger, and it seemed like everyone knew about it. Like everyone was talking smack about The Walking Dead, saying The Walking Dead was a joke now. Like that became a really popular opinion, that The Walking Dead was bad now, and its glory days are over, and Scott Gimple sucks. Like those are like popular opinions, and I mean I couldn't really blame anyone because that's how I felt. Now, do I think it's fair to blame all the mistakes, all the failures on Scott Gimple? No, I don't. I mean, if the budget is low, if AMC is cheap, then there's only so much you can do with that. I mean, if AMC wants to be cheap, that's really not Scott Gimple's fault. He's got to work with what he has. And AMC has had a long-standing history of being cheap. Season 2, people talk about how everyone just kind of sits at a farm all season. That's because season 2, like they cut like 3/4 of the budget away and demanded twice the episodes. I think that played a part in Frank Darabont leaving, because it was bullshit. They just had to have the characters standing around at a farm and get a lot of character development. It ended up being kind of a good thing, because they had to absolutely focus on the character interactions, because that's all they could afford to do. They could barely afford any walkers. But AMC is cheap. I mean, AMC has had a history of being cheap. So I don't blame Scott Gimple for the budget issues or the money issues, because I blame AMC. AMC is just, they've always been a cheap corporation. The only thing they want to spend money on are Norman Reedus episode by episode $15 million paychecks. But when it comes to the quality of the show, they just think that they can make it absolute shit and spend $10 on every episode, and fans will just come in like mindless drones and watch it anyway. And that's not how it works. So for the budget problems, and the very obvious and glaring budget problems in season 7 and 8, I do not blame Scott Gimple for that. But with the writing, yeah, I do kind of blame Scott Gimple. I think his style is just not that good. I think he was really good back in season 4. I do believe that Scott Gimple saved season 4, because season 3 was pretty bad, and then Scott Gimple came in and replaced Glenn Mazzara as showrunner, and he ended up making season 4 just very, very awesome. And he made the governor story good when it kind of wasn't in season 3. Too Far Gone is one of the best episodes in the show. And Scott Gimple was that before season 4. He was just kind of that little guy that occasionally wrote an episode, and it would always turn out to be one of the best episodes of the season. I believe he wrote the one, I know the name of it, 18 Miles Out, the one with Shane and Rick, where they're trying to figure out what to do about killing Randall. He wrote that one. That was one of the best episodes of the season. He wrote Clear from season 3, where Rick and Michonne find Morgan again. That was one of the best episodes of the season. So with season 4, he really did bring it back and make it top quality again. But I think he just kind of turned into George Lucas. I think maybe he got a little too far ahead of himself. He got a little too cocky, and maybe he just had too much power, and his artistic stuff kind of got a little too crazy with the trash people and shit like that. I mean, if you think that the writers, that maybe some of the writers are bad and it's not Scott Gimple, I've listened to Scott Gimple's interviews. I've watched his interviews. He does seem like he's responsible for a lot of the issues with the last couple of years, season 7 and 8, and he almost seems like he's proud of it. When I watch Scott Gimple's interviews, I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the things he says. He just seems like his head's up his ass, and he's just not like he's not the right fit for The Walking Dead. And he just I don't like the way he talks. I mean, he said that the first few episodes, like the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 8, would melt the TV screens, like they would be the best episodes ever. Did anyone on this planet feel like the first few episodes of season 8 were some of the best episodes of the show? Did anyone feel that way? Seriously, did anyone think that the first few episodes of season 8 would melt, like they melted the TV because of they were that good? Did anyone think that? I sure didn't. Like, why would he say that? Why would he act like they're just going to be like a masterpiece of episodes, and then they're just kind of okay? I mean, they brought Morales back, but that was kind of jumping the shark. Other than that, they were kind of generic. They weren't that good. Rick saying it's not about me and some shit like that. I didn't even like the dialogue. So no, I mean, the first few episodes of season 8, they were okay, but they didn't melt the TV screen. And Scott Gimple said they would. So, I mean, clearly his head's a little too far up his ass, and he's not that good of a writer, in my opinion. If you love Scott Gimple, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I respect everyone's opinions. I just want my opinions to be respected. That's the beautiful thing about opinions. You don't have to have the same one as other people. I mean, people get mad about this and shit like that, but that's really just unnecessary. If I hate Scott Gimple's style and you love it, that's great. I'm glad you love season 7 and 8. I am jealous of you. Believe me, I am jealous of you. I wish that I loved season 7 and 8. But with season 9, it just seemed like everything got so much better. There has not been a single bottle episodes. We're almost halfway into the season, and there hasn't been a single bottle episode. The writing is the best it's ever been in like almost a decade. The writing hasn't been this good since season 1 and 2. The characters are just being really well handled, and I feel like every character has a purpose and a point, and there's no filler, and everything has substance. And I think Angela Kang is to blame for that. I think Angela Kang is fixing the show, and she's redeeming the show, and she deserves all the praise that she gets. And I hope that she continues to make The Walking Dead good, because I think the show desperately needed her. I think it was on its last legs during season 9. A lot of people were ready to just give up and stop watching it, and she made it really good. So I do think that Angela Kang is better than Scott Gimple. I think Angela Kang is 10 times better than Scott Gimple. I think she is the answer. She is the solution to The Walking Dead's many problems that it has had for several years. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Don't be shy. Hit the like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so I hope you hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Right now we are at 177 subscribers. I am trying to get to 200 in the next few weeks, so we are just 23 away from that. So if you are interested, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button. And with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.